This is the story behind the AE86 Sprinter Trueno, a modest car that rolled out from Toyota's production lines in the early 1980s, not knowing it was destined to become a legend. A car so beloved that it would unexpectedly inspire a cultural movement.
When I first got it and first saw it, and I was standing next to it, I was like, this is cool.
This is freaking awesome.
Like, dang, I'm really driving an 8.6. I just be excited every time I get in.
I mean, you have a big smile on your face. Born in an era brimming with automotive innovation, the AE86 was a part of Toyota Corolla's lineup. It was initially perceived as a practical and affordable choice for everyday use. However, beneath its simple facade, it possessed the qualities of a true performer. But what the Japanese domestic market saw on release day doesn't accurately reflect the struggles that Toyota's team faced when designing and marketing such a simple vehicle. As Japan quickly recovered from its post-war period, its culture began to change dramatically as generations shifted. Americans and Japanese began reconstruction, and Japanese companies evolved to match. Beginning around the late 1960s and early 1970s, companies like Nissan, formerly Datsun, began challenging the market with more exciting thrill cars, which were popular. So facing this new wave of competition, Toyota found themselves at a critical juncture. The need to innovate was clear, and Toyota started work throughout the 70s on their TE series, which was the origin of the Sprinter Trueno name, in addition to the Toyota Celica Supra, which launched in April of 1978. But Toyota needed one major change, a change that wasn't so obvious, but would dictate the future of the company. Ooh, whoops. Okay, hold on. This is related, I swear, just give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. This is Bob. Bob is what we call in marketing an avatar. Let's pretend that Bob is Toyota's avatar for their 1978 Supra. Each avatar is a specific type of person for your product to appeal to. When marketing, you go in depth about what the interests and hobbies of this fake person could be. This person might be, let's say a 32-year-old man, has hobby interests of working on cars, savings built up over time, and potentially single. Okay, so obviously it goes into way more depth than that, but the gist of it is that you want to find who your ideal target customer is and then market directly to them. From the 60s to the 80s, there wasn't a lot of change in the market, so there wasn't any pressing need to change any of Toyota's avatars until the late 70s. As a result, the Supra and previous T lineup was tailored towards having avatars that countered Datsun in an exclusively high-performance sports car market, in addition to focusing on foreign automotive markets which Datsun succeeded in capturing. However, Toyota realized they needed to bridge the gap between practical, affordable, yet fun cars. So they started focusing on a new type of avatar, an up-and-coming one. Younger men in Japan who were car enthusiasts and would appreciate a cheap, reliable, fast, fun tuner car as their daily driver. Under the hood of the AE86 is an absolute unit of a four-banger engine. This DOHC engine, the 4AGE, was a marvel of its time, and the secret weapon Toyota needed that gave them a giant advantage over its competition. You see, Toyota struck an impressive balance with the AE86, largely due to its incorporation of the 4AGE engine. It employed a dual overhead cam, or DOHC design, which means it had two camshafts operating the valves instead of just one. While DOHC configurations were known, their application in affordable, mass-produced vehicles like the AE86 was not widespread at that time. Furthermore, the 16-valve configuration with 4 valves per cylinder was another feature in most engines that wasn't commonly seen around that time. This allowed for more effective air and fuel mixture flow, leading to efficient combustion. The 4AGE engine became the defining feature of the AE86, offering a level of performance performance that was uncommon in cars within that price range. This was an engine that delivered both the excitement of high-speed driving and the practicality needed for everyday use, paired with a lightweight 5-speed manual transmission in its simplistic compact chassis. This thing was a monster. From what we know, somebody on the design team of the AE86, under the supervision of Chief Engineer Agetsuma Fumio, convinced the design board to change the AE86 to a front-engine, rear-wheel drive vehicle, or FR for short, despite Toyota wanting it to be a front-engine, front-wheel drive vehicle to match that of the history of the Trueno and the Levin series. But on release day, the engineering team wanted to premiere the vehicle at Tsukubasa Kito, or Tsukubashi Circuit, proving the vehicle to be capable of being a motorsport legend right on release. And that's exactly what happened. To premiere the AE86, thanks to a quick-thinking engine, responsive transmission, light chassis, and FR layout, Toyota lapped the fastest time trial at 1 minute and 18 seconds, an achievement that stood for 2 years. Then, heading to the All Japan Rally, an open event for 10 days, it got people talking about this new winner from Toyota.
86って知ってますか？オルラリジャパンで見た。
86? 聞いたことがないな。
そうだ、彼らはすでにタイムトライアルで勝っている。
Despite winning at the circuit, the AE86 didn't seem to stand out from the crowd, at least with Toyota Corolla fans who were already pre-existing. However, over time and organically, that did eventually change. The AE86 started to catch on in Japan with the avatars Toyota was intending for it to target, that being young Japanese car enthusiasts looking for an affordable, reliable, and practical sporty car. The AE86's true rise to fame was gradual and organic, driven primarily by its adoption within the enthusiast and amateur racing communities in Japan. Its FR layout, balanced handling, and responsive engine made it a perfect candidate for motorsport, particularly drifting, and the car's ability to be easily modified and tuned up made it a popular choice. At least, that's how it rose in Japan. The rest of the world, they weren't so keen on following this new Toyota model that had just been released. That was until... Yep, you guessed it. A whole 12 years after the release of the 86, the anime series Initial D came out, and the 86's popularity skyrocketed. The AE86 from Initial D gave drift culture much of its popularity. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that Initial D, thereby the AE86, made drift culture as big as it is today outside of Japan. And good thing it did. Initial D is literally the reason I got into cars as a kid in the first place. It's such a badass series and will forever live in my heart. With that being said, you may think to yourself, well, Initial D could have chosen any car to be featured and it would have been just as popular. But no, I think the reason the 86 works so well is because it tells a story. The whole story arc of the show is an underdog story. Initial D showed that despite having an outdated 12-year-old car, the success is from both the driver and a car built to be quality. That's what drove the popularity of the 86 and the show. It just wouldn't be the same if Takumi was driving a GTR. People love a good underdog story. I mean, who doesn't? That's why, just like the 86, over 5,975 miles away, there's an underdog and underappreciated car rebuilding its brand. I work really hard making these videos. I'd love it if you can go check out the intriguing story surrounding the Lotus Evora.